last fire will rise. The last fire will rise behind those eyes. Black house will rock. Blind boys don't lie. Immortal fear. That voice so clear.
Hello, YouTubers. So what I'm here to talk about today, I'm here to talk about what is likely to be the most awesome board game ever in the existence of humanity. And okay, so I might be a little bit biased, being as I'm about the most humongous Ghostbusters fan in the world. But believe it or not, coming soon is a Ghostbusters the board game. Right now, actually, as I'm filming this, it is on KickStarter. And I'll probably wind up posting this for the following episode of my show. So as I'm filming this, I think there's something like 27 days remaining. But when I always post on Wednesdays, so there'll be 20 whatever days by that point remaining on the Kickstarter. So personally, obviously, just it being Ghostbusters, I am already backing it. Every single add-on they have, I always add on to my pledge. To be honest, though, I mean, even ignoring that it's Ghostbusters, it actually looks like a really cool game. So again, I'm perhaps a little biased being such a huge Ghostbusters fan, but I mean, it looks like it's probably a lot of fun even just as a game as it is. So the idea, the coolest thing, the board game, of course, is going to be taking a lot from the movies, of course, from the video games, but also like from the comic books. In fact, the artwork is done by the same Dapper Dan, who's a huge Ghostbusters fan, who did the art for the most recent comic books. So that's really cool. The game, it's obviously it's 1 to 4 players. You work cooperatively because, of course, it's the Ghostbusters. So I mean, you should be working as a team. It's 1 to 4 players, so you can play as all 4 Ghostbusters. In fact, there are miniatures for every single one of the Ghostbusters. And the game is basically exactly what you would think. You go around, you bust ghosts. Eventually, there's a boss ghost. So as I mentioned, they have, of course, all 4 Ghostbusters. They each come with their miniature and their corresponding Ghostbuster character card. Because what it is that they each, you gain XP, basically, experience points, as you go along the game. And you will, you can unlock other abilities that are specific to each Ghostbuster. So that's really cool, and as you can imagine, there's mechanics for how you bust the ghosts. It's basically you roll to see if your stream will hit them, and you have to get a certain number of streams on the ghost, basically, in order to be able to trap it, and that'll vary depending upon the ghost. Not a huge amount of details have been revealed about how the game is played yet. There will be coming soon gameplay videos where they'll explain all that. But it's pretty much what you would imagine. So you have to bust a lot of ghosts. The really cool thing is that the board pieces are two-sided and like in pieces. So you put them together. So there's all sorts of different board setups that you can wind up playing. There's different scenarios, so the game can be completely different, and you can be facing different types of ghosts, different boss ghosts. So, for example, some of the boss ghosts, they've got Slimer, of course. They've got Stay Puft, so that is just awesome. You've got a Slimer and a Stay Puft miniature for your board. Although in the case of Stay Puft, not quite that miniature. Now, of course, this being Kickstarter, so there's a whole bunch of Kickstarter exclusives that you can get, and it also depends on your pledge level. You get extra stuff if you pledge at a higher level. For example, the Boogeyman or was it the Sandman? I forget, to be honest, but as a boss. As a boss character, and now all of a sudden, without looking, I'm forgetting if it was the Boogeyman or the Sandman, but from the real Ghostbusters, cartoons. It's one or the other of them. Like I said, I forget. But again, also being Kickstarter, they're currently they have stretch goals. So once they're already funded. By the way, it took them less than 2 days. It was literally early in the second day of the Kickstarter. They were already fully funded. But like with most Kickstarters, as they get to other certain goals above their funding level, they give you what is called stretch goals free, and that is for example, they have both Terror Dogs, Zool and Vince Clortho. We've already unlocked them. As I'm filming this, Gozer is next, so you can unlock Gozer. And I haven't checked in a little bit, but as I'm filming this, Gozer was not yet unlocked, but we were well on our way. And I'm sure there will be more revealed. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting also the Ecto-1 was unlocked. So, I'm sure there'll be a lot more awesome. I mean, there's still nearly a month remaining in the Kickstarter at this point, so I'm sure there'll be a lot more awesome, stretch goals revealed that I'm sure many of which will unlock. I'm sure there'll be a lot of cool new add-ons that will be available, optional add-ons that you can add if you so choose to your pledge, which so far I've added every single one because it's Ghostbusters. I have to. The game, like I said, I mean, it looks. I mean, more details will come along, and as the Kickstarter goes along. But even just despite being, I mean, it just looks like an awesome game, regardless of Ghostbusters or not. So I definitely highly recommend giving it a chance. And I personally, I'm already pledging. I cannot wait to get my hands on my copy and bring it to my gaming table. Thank you, YouTubers. Have a nice day.
Change